Okay, time to do this again. I wanted to do this out beginning in the garage. That didn't work. There was a damn squirrel in the video. I had to redo the whole thing. I'm gonna play you a clip of it now. It's annoying. Same setup that I've always been running on it. And just for some reason, we managed to get it go good down the track and it like broke way through that tens barrier. Hold on. Squirrel again. First off, I'm actually kind of concerned that you guys didn't ask me about my wiener, like at least once. Like, is there something wrong? You didn't ask me about my wiener, if you like to touch my butt, if I'm gay. You didn't ask me any of those things. I'm kind of shocked actually and disappointed a little bit. All right, so let's start. I'm gonna open up the app. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna open it up on my phone. If I'm good enough, I'll be able to put the message in the bottom that the question people asked with their name linking to it so you can see who asked it and what they asked. And we'll start from the top. I've already done this once. I was out in the garage. Damn squirrel got me. Let's do it again. So, I think the first one is Godzilla because he has the most subscribers, so it kind of shows up on the top. But he asked, would you trade your modified Supra for a stock R34 GTR V-Spec? No, I wouldn't. I'm actually really satisfied with the Supra platform. I'm good with the rear-wheel drive. All-wheel drive just seems like a lot to break. However, the R34 did come with a Getrag transmission and it's a lot stronger. I still wouldn't trade for it, no. No dice. What would you build if it wasn't the Supra? So I'd have to build probably a new Mustang. I like hit crowds. No, but the Coyote engine actually has been proven itself. You can throw a factory warranted supercharger on it and make like 700 horsepower and still retain some warranty. So that's where I would probably start. What are your future plans for the Supra? Well, I kind of need your guys' help on this. I don't know exactly which direction I want to go for the build series. I was going to come to you guys to name it for me. I kind of want to aim for 9s. The goal was to aim for 10s this winter. However, we did go to that track and annihilate it out of nowhere. So that kind of ruined my whole winter build. I already had it all planned. I do want to aim for 9s though. It's going to get a cage and a diff because those are priority safety wise. The diffs, when they do explode, sometimes they lock up one wheel and they'll just spin your car sideways. So I don't want to be doing a bunch of speed and then lock up one wheel, hit the wall, or hit the car in the other lane next to me. So those two things are priority. After that, I can focus on like horsepower, suspension, and stuff like that. But I want to get the cage and the diff done. I'm going to get a fuel system in there, like a better one, and I'll maximize what I have, the stock block and the 6266, and we'll just go from there. So I am going to make a build series this winter. If you guys want me to call it 9-second super build, I can do that. It might take a bit longer. It might take all season next winter, and then it might be 2019 before I actually hit the 9, but I could do an extended build series like that and just release an episode once a month kind of deal after the winter build that I'm gonna do. Anyways, that's what I'm planning to do with the Supra. I seem to have a couple of these what are your plans for the Supra questions, so I tried to cover the basis of all of it. And I talked a lot because the phone turned off. This one's actually really sketchy, and I don't know why you went there. You could ask me anything, and this is apparently what you want. So, would you rather cut the webbing between your fingers with a razor blade, or stick a rusty nail under your toenail and kick a wall? Well, I would pick the rusty nail under my toenail and kick the wall with my other foot. That's how I would do it. You didn't say specifically kick the wall with the foot with the nail on it. I got you. Would you make 1,000 horsepower Toyota Supra? That will eventually be a goal of mine, to make a 1,000 horsepower Supra. I do have the spare block in my garage that I plan on building. It's just not feasible for me to do it yet. I'm not at that point, but everything I have won't support 1,000. The turbo won't, the manifold won't, the fuel system won't, the block won't. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have to redo everything else again. I'm gonna start with the block, then I gotta get an intake manifold, exhaust manifold, new turbo, new fuel system, and then I'm just gonna cover all the bases at once and hopefully make 1,000, and it'll hopefully put me deep in the 9s. Would you import your Supra over to the UK and give it to me? Well, that's just too much work. What got you into cars and racing? Racing was kind of my own thing. We kind of just went down one time and did it for fun. I was on street tires and I instantly got hooked. What got me into cars was my dad was a mechanic, like just a backyard mechanic. He was really good with everything. He kind of helped me out. And so I started just following in his footsteps. Then I went to automotive school and that really pushed it, and now I've just been an enthusiast ever since. Will you make a vid about how your home is after the fire? I've been meaning to do this and I've just never got around to it. It's kind of depressing to go film security in the house and stuff, but everything's all good for now. They do have to replace the shingles and the attic insulation. Other than that, everything in the house is kind of back to normal again. It doesn't smell anymore. It's been cleaned. We got new couches and new beds. Everything's been washed. How long have you owned the Supra, and what cars did you have prior to it? I think this is my 3rd year on the Supra. Before that, I owned a 1996 Ford Escort that I turboed. A Ford Focus ZX3, and I turboed that. I had the Cobalt SS supercharged. I had an S13 Silvia with an SR20 in it, and now I have the Supra and the Juke. What are the negative aspects in owning a Supra? Okay, I've already made this video. It's 5 things I hate about my Supra. It's on my channel somewhere. It's definitely my most hated video. I got a lot of hate on it, but apparently nobody realizes that there are flaws with cars. But everyone just hated on me because they were like, oh, you can't hate like an iconic car. But it was 5 things I hated about my Supra. And I mentioned stuff like paint and small brakes, and they're like, well, why don't you just upgrade it, dumbass? Or why don't you just paint the car, dumbass? Well, I'm not there yet. But that's 5 things I hate about my car, and those are some negatives. I kind of got off the question there. Next guy. Do you ever bring the Supra to street races or just strictly track? It's always been track for me. I haven't been into circuits. I don't plan on getting huge brakes and crazy sticky tires and suspension, and it's just a lot of screwing around. So just track for me. I mean, just drag track. Are there any performance upgrade plans for the Jukes? Bolt-ons, turbochargers? No, nothing for the Juke. It's going to stay completely stock other than maybe a set of wheels. The plan for the Juke is just to be a reliable daily that we can take without having to worry about it. So I can spend more time braking the Supra and less time worrying about how I'm going to get around. So the Juke is staying stock, and that's it for that. Serious question. What's your favorite color? Well, a lot of my stuff is red. This is red. The garage is red. But if I were to paint my car and had to pick a color, it would probably be like blue. So you could argue that blue is my favorite color too. When are you going to buy a Skyline for your girlfriend? Well, me and Denise talk about it all the time actually. It'd be cool to have an R34 next to the Supra. Unfortunately, the prices of the R34s are actually on the rise like hard. And we just bought the Juke, so it's probably not be in the near future, but maybe one day we'll add in another car to the garage. How is the barn coming along, and what caused the fire? The fire that I've been talking about in a lot of my videos lately, if you guys are new to the channel, you won't know, but there was a forest fire that hit our town, evacuated everybody that was in the town for an entire month. It covered 5,000 square kilometers. It ended up burning, and like 2,200 houses. We don't know exactly what caused it. It was man-made, however, because there was no lightning in the area at the time. The barn is coming along good. We're making good progress on it. I have a short clip that I can throw up of the barn, and that's kind of been my focus lately, is every time I have a weekend off where I'm at the barn building and trying to do that. So that's where a lot of our money is going to. So that's why you haven't seen me building my Supra at all, because a lot of our funds have been allocated towards that barn just to get Denise up on her feet, back into her hobby as soon as she can. Was it hard working out the kinks to get the Supra into the 10s? I've always dreamed of owning one, I just could never pull the trigger. I'm used to building Fords, LOL. It wasn't hard to get into the 10s at all. The Supra is still on stock block, stock suspension, stock transmission, stock diff, stock bushings, everything. All we did was throw a bit of race gas in it and add some timing and boost. I never expected it to get into the 10s, and that's why I'm in the predicament I'm in now with the whole build series for the winter. I'm surprised how well it holds power and how well it puts power to the ground in stock form. Would you for $10,000 cash, a 1999 R34 GTR in stock trim and free fuel for 1 year, personally beat your Supra with a hammer and let Eric set it on fire till it burns to the ground? No, not a chance. Would you ever consider going turbo V8, and what chassis would it be, JDM or domestic? It would probably be the newer Coyote engine in a Mustang. That's my chassis of choice right now that I would like to have. So I would put a turbo in a factory new Ford Mustang with the Coyote engine, and you're running like nines already. What's your dream car, and what would you do to it interior and exterior? Okay, well, my dream car would be own an Audi R8, and I really love them. And I just love them for the exterior. I wouldn't do anything performance or anything to it. I just love the look of the car. So if I could, I would own an Audi R8 and I would just keep it factory. It wouldn't have to be V10. It could just be a V8. I just love the way it looks, and I would have it as a show car, not a go car, because I still own a Supra. How long did it take to get the car imported and shipped to your house altogether? I think it was 2 to 3 months maybe. It arrived just before winter when I ordered it. And then I had to store it for friggin' 5 months, so I couldn't drive it. And that was one of the hardest things. But it roughly takes 2 to 3 months. Mike, the owner of the LOL Neon, he goes, "Where's the LOL Neon?" Oh wait. I think the real question is, will your time hold up against Kent? Well, since I made this video before I went to the track with Kent's car, and Kent's car blew up, I think I beat him. What inspired you to get a Supra? Where did you get it? And why make a drag car out of it? I picked the Supra because it holds power so well. A big influence was actually the video they used, the Titan Motorsports 700 horsepower Supra video, I believe, with Matt Farah in it. That was a big influence because he made it really desirable to own one. I wanted to get out of 4 cylinders into more cylinders, so I got something with 6. The cost of it was relatively cheap. I got it for like $19,000 all said and done. When are you going to race the Supra versus the Mustang? Well, I guess it's not going to be this year. I don't know if we're ever going to have them at the track at the same time, because Kent and I kind of are like a race team, so you could call it. And so what happens is I'll go and he'll come with me and be my pit crew. He'll help me with tire pressures, changing tires, advice. He'll stand in the stands and videotape for me. And then when it's his turn to go, we'll reverse roles and I'll do all that stuff for him. I'll film. And it's just a lot better time to have someone there helping instead of everyone trying to rush around doing their own thing. How hard was it to achieve your goal purchasing a Supra, saving up and such? Well, I just got a personal loan and bought the Supra when I did. I didn't really save up for it. I just bought it out as I was getting another car. It's paid for and everything now, but that's how I did it. Roughly how much did the Mustang build cost? I can't give you an exact number on what the build cost because he went so many different directions with it. But we did the rear end, the pulleys, the fuel system, and wideband stuff, small stuff like that. But every little bit adds up, and it's always going to cost more than you expect a build is going to cost. So that's my closest guess. He could probably give you more of an exact number. He might comment down below or if he wants to, but I can't give you an exact cost on it. Do you have any future cars to buy? No, I'm not really looking for another vehicle right now. Just building on the current ones I have. How did you and Denise meet? Sorry if I spelled it wrong. You did spell it wrong. It's with a C. Everyone spells it wrong. It's okay. We actually met at a car meet, and it's really funny because I was at the car meet first, and then she showed up with her brother Eric, who at the time I didn't meet him yet either. It was the first time I seen him. Her brother's the one who owns the R33 GTR. And I thought they were dating, which is kind of awkward now to think about it, but at the time I was like, okay, they're just dating. We ended up meeting there, and I don't know how it progressed from there, but it was awesome. So yeah, we did meet at a car meet, which is kind of cool too. Boxers kind of guy or briefs kind of guy? I'm definitely a boxer brief kind of guy. I like the ones that kind of tuck in your stuff and hold it. I have a lot of Saks underwear, if that kind of explains it. It kind of, they're like boxer briefs, but there's a little pocket for your balls. Where did you learn your wrenching skills? As I mentioned earlier, I did go to automotive school, so I did 3 years automotive service technician. I could have went and got my journeyman, but the whole process of working on somebody else's car all day and then wanting to work on your car kind of ruined the experience for me. So I got out of it when I did, and I picked a new profession, which is driving the world's biggest dump trucks. And now I can just go to work, drive trucks, be stress-free, and then come home and work on cars. That's just how I like it. Do you shave your big toe? No. Unless you're talking about my wiener, and then yes. Why are you so shit, and why is your car so slow? Is that 2 questions? I guess I'm kind of shit because I haven't been making new content lately. I'm sorry for that. I'm gonna do my best. I've been working a lot lately, and I'm kind of in a predicament where if I work a lot, I can actually get more car parts but make less videos, or I can work less and make more videos but have less car parts. So I have the option for overtime at where I'm working now, and I'm thinking I'm gonna work some overtime. That way I can make my build series over the winter that much better. And my car is slow because it's just a 3-liter. Thanks for your questions, guys. If I missed anything, I'm sorry. If this was boring, let me know. I won't do it again. But if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. And I'll see you guys next time. I'm actually going to work again tonight for 3 nights, maybe 6 nights if I can get the overtime. And then we're gonna start back at Kent's car to see why that blew up, and that'll probably be the next video. Unless you guys want me to try and start doing vlogs or something, I can actually record what I do during the day. I'm not that fun, but apparently people like vlogs. That's what I'm noticing in the trend in YouTube lately, is people like to see other people's lives. So if you're into that, let me know, and see you later.